Everyone, welcome in. Welcome to Bayou Sugar Garden. Well, welcome to DJ Bayou Sugar. I am Bayou Sugar. My company is Bayou Sugar Garden. And we do have a small echo. I think, hold on. I think, no, still. I think y'all can hear me now. Okay. Let me know if there's an echo. Welcome in, Unbiased. I can hear you and see you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Uncle Batman. Welcome in. Thank y'all for being here. Let me make sure that I am connected on TikTok. I am live on TikTok and YT. And we're just continuing our series that I had started about 2 days ago, just sharing information with some research that I found um, about gardening and why we garden and the things that we um, eat and knowing the background and things about the food that we grow. And so, uh-oh, everything went black. There we go. So, guys, welcome in. If this is your first time here, welcome in. If not, welcome back. Guys, please remember to hit that like button on both sides. For you on the TikTok side, please remember to grab your daily heart me and tap those screens. And for those of you on the YouTube side, please feel free to share out the live. Thank you, Unbiased, to let me know there's no echo. Those of you on the YT side, you are more than welcome to type SHUGA in the chat. And my Nightbot will drop your link just in case someone wants to connect with you and find y'all's channels. Please feel free to do so. So we're not going to tarry. We got a lot of information to cover, and I'm going to try to get through as much of it as I can tonight. Let me get through these formalities, and I'm hoping that my internet connection would allow me to be great tonight. It's not raining. We don't have any. Let's see. Go to the comments. It's not raining. And weather is pretty good. It's just a little cloudy, but I'm live on 2 devices, hoping that will help the stream. The audio is good, but I want the audio and the video to be in sync. Last time we were live, the audio was good. It was a little choppy, but the video was not in sync with it. So, a couple of lives before when I did on 2 devices, it worked pretty well. I don't know if it was because I was just having a good day or what, but we're going to try to work this out tonight. If it doesn't work out, hey, y'all know me. We'll just try it another day. I'll try it another day. But we're going to get this information out to you. Thank you for you all who are here in the chat. Uncle Bama said he will be listening in the back. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who are here in the chat. Thank you for those who are catching the replay. I appreciate you. Please leave me a comment if you are catching the replay. And for those of you who are live in the chat, please feel free. It's an open conversation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to put them in the chat. And if you would like us to discuss them, we surely will. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and begin sharing out this information. Well, once I share it, once I start the video, guys, just let me know if you can see it on your end. And as far as the visual and audio for you, just let me know if it's good. I'm trying to check it on my end as well. So I'm going to share my screen. And I do believe I want to maximize my screen. When I do that, yeah, you guys can still hear me. And if I need to talk, I will. So the person who is in this video that's doing the documentary, just in case you have not heard of her, is Dr. Vandana Shiva. She is, I can't wait to taste the food going in my garden. It will be my first. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Unbiased. You're gonna be so happy. It's such a good feeling to taste the food that you're growing, and I can't describe it. It's indescribable. That's all I can say. Once you get it and you taste it, you're gonna be so proud because you did it, and then the taste is gonna be like, dang, this tastes way better than the store. And I grew it. So I'm so happy for you. Yay. Make sure you go live or do a video so we all right. Wait for my audio to my video to come back in. Oh, that's the video on the screen. My bad. So excited for you again, Unbiased, and do a video so we can see your reaction. It's always good to see first time gardeners' reaction to their fruit and things that they grew themselves when they taste it. Because you relive it all over again for yourself. Somebody else came in. The Bud Files, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Oh, that's my Uncle Bammit. If you see something buffering, that's the video. I haven't played it yet, so it's just buffering right now. All right. All right, so we're going to play the video. Here we go. Speaking. But we got to tell them, y'all. I got to tell them. What's going on, J3GF? Come in. I appreciate you. Hold on. I got to fast forward this. I thought I had it queued up. 3. So we on story 4. Okay.
All life begins in the small. A seed of a mustard is so tiny. Then it gives you 1,000 seeds, gives you mustard oil. It gives you mustard leaves and mustard greens. Small is where we begin. Seed, by its very nature, is renewable. It's the source of life. Seed in our language means bija, that which arises on its own forever and ever and ever. I can plant a seed, I get a crop. From that crop, I save some seed. I plant it again. I can have food. The seed crisis at the root of the food crisis have been created only in the last 30 years. Before that, farmers had their own seeds. Seeds was not patentable. There were no GMOs. There were no Monsantos in our seed supply. 4 companies today control the seed system. They do not want farmers to have their own seeds. They treat farmers having their own seeds as violating their monopoly rights. The monopoly rights are created through patenting and intellectual property. Intellectual property rights means I have created something, I'm an inventor. But seed is not a machine. It is not put. Seed is evolution forever. Seed is renewable. Seed is multiplicative. One seed can give me 1,000 seeds. In the case of millets, 100,000 seeds. When seeds are made non-renewable and seeds are designed for use of chemicals, what happens is biodiversity starts to disappear. Humanity used to eat 10,000 species of crops. In India, which is the home of the indica varieties of rice, the other kinds of rices are the japonica varieties of rice. You have had diversity in the eastern area of Asia. We have had our diversity. Our indigenous peasants took one wild grass, Oryza sativa, and through their brilliance, turned it into 200,000 rice varieties. Rice varieties that give you different colors, black and purple and red, that give you different aromas like the famous basmati, Dehradun, that give you resilience to floods, to salt, so that we can face climate change. When seeds are monopolized, biodiversity starts to disappear because the monopolizers want to only deal with a few crops that they have patented. That is why GMO soya and GMO corn is spreading everywhere. When the GMOs came into agriculture, I realized that the genes of the genetically modified crop would pollinate with neighboring crops. We gave this genetic pollution. Just like there's pollution by burning coal, which has caused climate change, there's pollution of chemicals and toxics, which has given us cancer. There's pollution through genetic contamination. India is a land of cotton. After all, Gandhi spun cotton for our freedom. Monsanto's BT cotton did not come to India through a government approval. It came illegally. This is the reason I had to sue Monsanto and the government for allowing this illegal entry of BT cotton in 1998, 1999. And that case is still in the Supreme Court, but it prevented Monsanto selling BT cotton seeds up to 2002. India has the biggest cotton research institute in the world in a place called Nagpur. This institute has provided brilliant varieties of cotton to the local farmers. But when Monsanto entered, it did 3 things. It made the farmers give up their old seeds. It's called seed replacement. The local public sector stopped distributing seeds, and all the companies were locked into licensing arrangements that they could only sell BT cotton and none of their other seeds. This triple attack is what created the BT cotton monopoly. Before Monsanto came, 80% of the seeds in India used to be in the hands of farmers.
So I wanted to stop it there to give the video a chance to load up too, because it was starting to get a little choppy. But at the same time, yes, I see y'all was saying about the rice is basmati rice is good and jasmine rice is good. Yes, they are, and they smell delicious. I buy both. But what I wanted to say was to pay attention, because y'all know how they often say history repeats itself, right? So just because this happened in India, we can't just rule out the fact that it may not happen to us. And what happened with them was the powers that be basically took their control. He who controls the seed or the foods controls the world. So they took their control from them. They took the seeds that they saved, the seeds that they had. Those were those people's seeds. They didn't need the powers that be because they already had the power. But some kind of way they manipulated them into giving them their seeds and replaced the seeds that the farmers had with the powers that be. Some kind of way they tricked them into thinking that they needed the seeds that the powers maybe had. And the farmers, I guess they just didn't realize that they already had the power, that they already had what they needed. They didn't need these bigger corporations or this bigger entity. They had it. But some kind of way they got tricked and they took the original seeds that they had. And that was the first step to their downfall. If you look on the screen, it says 80% of the seeds that was used in India was in the hands of farmers. Before they gave those seeds gave those seeds to the powers that be, those people had control and grew and had access to 80% of the seeds in their country. And somebody came and jacked them out of it, basically, tricked them out of it. And from there, it's just a spiral. So we're going to listen to see what the spiral is. Now, I do remember that we did watch 4 last night, but it's okay. We can keep going. Hey, pretty girl. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Let's see. She said very informative information. And let me put Crafty on the screen. I can't even talk. Just in case there are people on the TikTok side that may want to connect with you guys. I try to make sure I put y'all on the screen. And anyone that comes in on the TikTok side, I will definitely read your comments and acknowledge you. She says, do you have the link to the original video? Here's the thing, Unbiased. I did this. This is a repeat teaching. I did this close around this time last year. And the place that I got this video from was asking for donations, financial donations to help keep this video rolling because the name of the app that I use or the website was called Great Minds. It is no longer available. You'll find clips out of this whole series over the internet, but the whole video is no longer available. Somebody obviously didn't want this information to get out. But I'm glad we got it, you know. So let's keep going. Oh, I wanted to mention, I don't think you guys was in the chat last night, but the 4 companies that controls the seeds in the earth, did y'all pay attention to those 4 companies' name? She said, yeah, I remember this. I thought, yeah. So we did talk about that. Those 4 company names were, so you downloaded it? No, I had the app on my phone and on my computer. And as I watched it, I streamed it on YouTube. And so that's how I have it. This is a replay from my show on YouTube. Yeah. Yep. So, but those 4 companies, you guys, you couldn't see the names. I couldn't see the names on the screen. Oh, yeah. It's probably a little blurry. Let me make myself big. Because I did have myself small. So let me go back and see if I could put the names of the 4 companies up there. We are at 1 hour and 9 minutes. So let me remember that. Okay, so I hope that's a little bit bigger for you. Let me see. I probably can zoom in. No, that makes YouTube smaller. Okay, that's about as big as I can get it. But those are the four company names: Bayer, Cartiva, Syngenta, and BASF. All right, we're going to keep going because we did do this part last night.
Is what created the BT cotton monopoly. Before Monsanto came, 80% of the seeds in India used to be in the hands of farmers. 20% were in the hands of Indian public sector and Indian private sector. After Monsanto came, 99% of the cotton seed is a Monsanto monopoly. The price of seed jumped from 5 rupees a kilogram, which it was before the corporations took control of seed, to 4,000 rupees a kilogram, which is about 80,000%. But these seeds are not adapted to local climate, and they are non-renewable. So you don't get a good rain, you have a drought, the seed fails. The bollworm attacks, the seed fails. Farmers keep having to borrow again and again and again. In India, we have lost 400,000 farmers to suicide.
So because that's a repeat, I'm going to go ahead and skip to 5, but I give a recap right now for those who may have not seen all of 4. So she basically goes on to describe and tell you how the powers to be basically swindle these people out of their organic seeds and replace them with GMO seeds. So to answer your question about it, you was like, wait a minute, what does pharmaceutical companies or chemicals companies want with seeds? Well, think about it. Where are GMO seeds made? In the lab. Ain't they something? So they manipulate the seeds in the lab. And the seeds that they gave these farmers, they only good for one season. So they bloom or whatever, make their crop, and then they die. It's not like they can save seeds. So they have to keep going to that company to rebuy seeds. And then those seeds aren't as viable as the seeds that they originally had. Those seeds that those farmers originally had, were stronger, probably were able to resist the bugs and pests and were used to the weather. Like us, the more you go through a disease, or once you go through a disease, you have immunity. Your body develops an immunity and develops antibodies so that when you are faced with that same disease again, your body knows how to react. They lost all of that when they gave those seeds to the powers that be. They received seeds that couldn't stand, that had no antibodies, that didn't know how to react, that could not withstand the weather that they were in, could not fight against the pests that they were in. But they told them that those seeds could. And that's a way how they tricked them. They told them that the seeds that they made were better than the seeds that they already had, which was a lie. All right, so let's fast forward to we're gonna fast forward to part 5. That was episode 4. So we're gonna fast forward to part 5. Yeah, she said that explains the downpour of rain in certain states. They drowned the crops. So, yep, they had to buy seeds. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, TZ, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Welcome in. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They were trying to make them dependent on them. They knew exactly what they were doing. Okay. All right. Let me get this episode 5 of the next one up. So it's good that we learn this stuff so that history won't repeat itself. We don't want to find ourselves in the same situation. Because I remember last summer while I was teaching this, they were trying to develop a law to where you couldn't have a garden in your yard. Who is that? Hey, Homesteader Rachel, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Getting to this video, y'all. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. So we on 5. Yep, here it goes. Oh, that's 8. We on 5, but that one is 8. We need to be at 5. We getting there. We getting there. Give me 1 second, y'all. Today is Thursday. I hope y'all are having a awesome Thursday. We had some rain last night that I didn't need. But I'm not complaining. As I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know? Okay, I'm almost there. Okay. That's that one. That's the first one. That's the second one. Put this in the watch later just in case I click on the wrong one. I can just go back to watch later. First one, second one. Third one. I think this is the one. No. So I'm gonna go to watch later. It's the other one. Good thing I put it in watch later so I won't have to go back and look for it. Okay, it's right here. But that one went to 8. Look like. I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself, trying to talk myself through this. Did we skip from 4 to 8? Okay, he go 5. All right. All right, I got it. All right, let me share my screen. And let me see anybody that I missed that came in on the TikTok side. Hello to you. Welcome in. Don't forget to grab your daily heart me and tap that screen. I think I spoke to Teezy and Miss Rachel, Homesteader Rachel. Oh, Crafty say it's raining over there. Hey, Minister Terry, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hey, I thought you was gonna get your hair done.
I got it already.
Oh,
I got to poop first.
Hey, Growing What I Eat, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Good to see you. T said, I need to catch the first episodes after the live. Sounds like I missed some good information. Yeah, you probably heard this last year, Teezy. It's just a repeat of what we did last year, but I'm trying to share it with those on the TikTok side, and then some of us who wasn't here last year get to see it. And it's always good to get a refresher. So Pretty Girl says that's why we have to save our own seeds. Yes, and don't let nobody jack you out of your seeds. So now I need to buy multiple packs of the same seeds to make sure I have what is needed. Thanks for the information. Well, yes and no. Because once you buy seeds, you shouldn't have to buy the same seeds over anymore because your plant gives you seeds. So say like you buy spinach seeds. You don't have to buy spinach seeds ever again because you can just let that spinach grow, and then at the end of the season or after you've gotten all that you want to get, let that spinach go to seed. It's going to start flowering, and let those flowers dry out. They're going to create little seed packets, or the flower's going to close up and it's going to dry out, and it's going to have little spinach seeds in it. Same thing with your okra. Once your okra finish, leave some of them pods on the plant. Let it dry out, collect seeds. So you collect seeds. That's how you do it. You don't have to keep going and buying seeds. You just save your seeds at the end of the plant's life when you've gotten all that you want to get. So that's how you do that. Today is my Friday. I'm off. Look, I'm just getting started. I collected 18 buckets of rainwater. Look, it rained a whole lot last night. Yes, it did. So thank you, Mr. Terry, so you can hear me and see me well. Okay. Yes. All right, so I think I have caught up on all of the messages. Let's continue with episode 5. I'm gonna mute myself.
There is a lot of talk about the food crisis. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, the United Nations body responsible for food, there is no food shortage. We have enough food to feed 1.5 times the world's population. Why then are 1 billion people hungry permanently? And why are more than 3 billion people permanently sick with chronic diseases because of food-related ill health? The food crisis has many dimensions. The first aspect is we are not growing food that nourishes the earth and nourishes people's health. We are growing commodities that are tradable objects for profits of a handful of corporations. There are 4 corporations controlling global food trade. 4 corporations controlling seed.
Pay attention.
Today's seeds are bred for non-renewability to be able every year. The monopoly over seed through intellectual property rights and patents is a reason why there is so much scarcity of food in the world and scarcity of seed. This kind of monopoly is leading to scarcity in the midst of abundance. The second reason there is a food crisis is food is being diverted from being eaten by people who are hungry to driving cars through biofuel, through putting animals in factory farms, force feeding them with GMO corn, GMO soya, intensive feed that makes the animals sick. 80% of the corn and 80% of the GMO soya is diverted to biofuel and animal feed. That means that only 20% remains for human beings. And that too is not healthy food. The third reason why there is a food crisis is we are not measuring how much food and nutrition. We are measuring yield. Yield only measures the weight. The weight is only useful when I take my harvest of corn and put it into a container ship without knowing what it will be used for. It doesn't measure how healthy the farm is. It doesn't measure how well the farmers are doing. Across the world, farmers are dying because they're not able to meet ends. All of these important
Drive safely,
considerations
J3.
of food are neglected, and all we measure is how much does it weigh. This quantification and commodification of food is at the root of the food crisis. The food shortages we are witnessing today are a result of a number of forces shaping the globalized, commerce-driven, commodity-driven food system. We have had trade for centuries. India has been trading her spices and clothes forever, from the Roman times and the Greek times. That was international trade. It was not globalization. Currently, what we have is globalization, where a few powerful corporations write the rules of the economy, write the rules of trade. For instance, Monsanto wrote the rules of intellectual property in the Trade-Related Intellectual Property Rights Agreement of GATT. Cargill, the biggest grain trader, wrote the rules of the Agriculture Agreement. PepsiCo wrote the rules of the Sanitary and Phytosanitary Agreement. These rules require that countries dismantle their import restrictions and their tariffs, as a result of which subsidized food is dumped in industrialized countries. When these rules destroy the local food system, you lose food sovereignty. You become dependent on food imports from a few corporations, and the imports are a few commodities. GMO corn, GMO soya, rice, wheat. The dependency has been most intense for the continent of Africa. Africa, the most abundant land, the source of humanity, the source of so many of our crops, has the highest levels of hunger, not because that land did not produce food, but their food production has been destroyed by $400 billion of subsidy in the global food system, which then dumps cheap food and destroys the local production. Globalization is a corporate phenomenon. It's embodied in the rules of the World Trade Organization. And I am among those who have resisted these rules.
So I want to stop and just make sure we understand what she is explaining, how she is saying, explaining how they're taking over and destroying the earth. Yes. So when she says cheap food, she's saying food that it may be, well, not maybe. It's food that doesn't cost them a lot of money to make, but yet they can make a lot of money off of it. And the reason why it doesn't cost them a lot of money to make, because they cut corners on it. It's not nutritional value food. And when they cut corners on it, that means that they're not making sure that the nutrients are in the soil. So they're growing food that is taking from your soil, but not putting nothing back in it. So think of your soil as a person. If you keep giving and giving and giving and giving and not putting something back in yourself, what's going to happen to you if you keep going and going and you don't eat? You keep waking up every morning, going to work, exercising, going out with your normal day, and you don't eat, or you don't give your body the nutrients it needs. What's going to happen to you? Just like a bank account, another example. You got money. You may start off with a lot of money in that bank account, but if you keep spending and never put in the deposits, then what's going to happen? You're going to be broke. So essentially, that's what is going on. That's what the GMO seeds are doing. They're taking from the soil, taking from the environment, but it's not putting it back. So everything is getting depleted. And that's what's happening to in Africa. That's what's happening all over the world. Okay. Because this video is like old, years old. But that is what's happening. And if we continue to buy GMO seeds, you plant one, you're destroying your soil, and then you wonder why your plants won't grow in your garden, or your trees won't grow, or disease is happening. Is because you're using seeds that are designed to just take and not give back. There's nothing in it to give back. Right, you're exhausting your resources. And if we keep exhausting our resources, there will be nothing left. And that's where we're headed. Okay, let's keep going because the video playing really good, y'all. Let's go. Let me mute myself.
Because I do not accept that a Monsanto an agreement on intellectual property and try and force it on us. The reason we must resist globalization rules written by WTO is A, because it works against the planetary laws. It violates the planetary boundaries, and that's why we have ecological crisis. The second, it destroys our sovereignty. Localization is the way towards the future of food. Bioregionals, biodistricts across the world, these are cropping up, where growers of good food and eaters of food make intimate connections between themselves, because the global system is drowning the farmers in debt, dropping the prices, they earn nothing. And then when people go to the market, they buy food at very high cost. Now already pushed to inflation because of speculation on food. Food is a new speculative commodity. That means there's a polarization growing. The rural families get poorer. Poor people spend more buying food.
Y'all, I have to stop this. We was talking about this a year ago. Tell me what's happening right now. It's happening right now. Minister Terry said, talking about having ecclesiastic moments in life. It's happening right now. Food prices are higher because of the speculations of the food. And the poor people, she just said it. She said this in 2016, that if they kept doing what they was doing in 2016, then this would happen. Here we are in 2025. Food prices are higher, and the poor people are paying the most money for food. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. Okay, that was the end of 5. We're gonna do 6. Let me fast forward. Look, Unbiased, you keep popping up on my video. You was here last time I did it. I keep looking at my screen like, look, there go Unbiased comment. Okay, here goes part 6.
Food is food. Sovereignty is to be sovereign in your food. For me, it means two very important things, because food is itself creative, active. In India, we call it Brahman, the one who creates and gives us health. Food sovereignty means we must respect food as a creative subject, a subject with whom we interact as living beings. Food sovereignty means we have control over the seeds we grow. We are not dependent on 4 companies through monopolies and patents. Food sovereignty means we grow food in ways that does not harm the earth, and the means of production are available in our hands. For Roundup, you have to buy it every year, 5 times a year from the companies. But when you use your own ecology and use your knowledge to control weeds and pests, you don't have dependence. Food sovereignty means having the ability, freedom, and choice to eat healthy and good food. And as eaters, food sovereignty means being able to make the choices that work for the earth and work for our health. The loss of food sovereignty is the loss of our seeds and our biodiversity, the loss of our knowledge of how to grow food, the loss of nutrition, and the loss of knowledge about what healthy eating is. So reclaiming food sovereignty begins with reclaiming your seed sovereignty. That means having your own seeds. The second element of food sovereignty is knowledge. If we have lost the knowledge of food, we have lost the knowledge of how to grow it, we are not sovereign. Food sovereignty is therefore related to knowledge
you gotta have your own seeds.
Knowing what food is, how you grow it, what food is healthy, what is not, what toxics are harmful, how to grow food without chemicals. That is the knowledge we need.
Okay, let me pause and catch some of these comments. Pretty Girl said, some people have no choice but to pay for food. We working to get right by growing our own. Exactly. Good statement. Mr. Terry says, ecclesiastic moments are a time in the day where you meet your personal needs and personal wants. Not having ecclesiastic moments will cause a decline in physical health and mental health. It's happening right now. Not right now. Right now. Crafts is what you gonna do when they don't have no more packs? You gonna get some from Unbiased? So these questions here is saying what we need to answer in order for us to survive. Look, Pretty Girl say, we're gonna have to send Crafty some of our seeds. I don't mind sending her none because we can barter, because she can make us some clothes and everything. She good with her hands. She good with her hands. So these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves in order to change this problem. She's saying we need to answer the question, what is food and how do we grow it? Which you already. Hey, Cena, as I grow, good evening on the TikTok side. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Y'all know Cena Renee. She says, what is food and how do we grow it? So she told you, food is a living thing. You got to treat it as a living thing. Not only the food, all the way down to the dirt. Don't just think of it as a thing. It is a living thing. Yep, we can barter, Crafty. Which food is healthy and which toxins are harmful? We do a lot of that when we do our research, when we stress to each other. do your own research. Please do your own research. Okay? When we learn about these medicinal herbs, we learn about them. Oh, Truth and Integrity walked in and I didn't see him. Hold up. Let me look at my chat on this computer. Oh, she said Truth Teagsy. Look, my mind is gone. My mind is gone. Okay, so continue to do your own research and find out what these things you're growing, what's good for you from the leaves and all that. We learned about pokeweed a lot of us last year. You got to learn which part to eat and which part not to eat and how to process it and all of that. Do your research on it. And the other question she says we need to learn is, how can we grow food without chemicals? And I think she already answered that, but we have already answered that in our community as well, for those of you who are already gardeners. Hey, Carlotta Yvette on the TikTok side, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting that like button. Don't forget to grab your daily heart me. I appreciate you. Thank you. All you have to do is, you got the dirt out there or the soil out there. Everything you need is in that soil. You got your seeds, put them seeds in that soil. You use to fertilize that soil. You use your compost. You use your your super juice, things like that. Use your everyday, use your food items that you would throw away, your scraps and things, compost in place, or make you a compost pile, or make you some super juice. That's how you grow it without chemicals. Okay? But some of us are at the point right now, we have to work backwards to get there, because they have gotten us to a point to where we have to depend on them for some things right now, because some of us maybe just starting out, so you may not have compost and you may not have super juice. So you got to go to the store and buy those things, or you may have to go get some liquid fertilizer, or you may have to go get some plant food. You may have to go get those things until you get on your feet. But don't use that as a permanent thing. Learn how to make your own fertilizers. Learn what you can put in your garden to help make that soil healthy. And then pay attention to your plants. It will tell you what it is lacking. Don't just go get it because, okay, I just need to fertilize my soil. No, you need to go and get it. Your plant is going to tell you what it is lacking, okay, and what it needs. Let's see. As I Grow With Me said on TikTok, we are all striving to be organic and sustainable for our health. Bottom line, that's it. You hit the nail on the head, Cena. We doing this for our health, to stay alive, basically. Bottom line, okay? So that's how we do it, y'all. And we are already on our way. I'm so proud of all of y'all. We are doing it. Let's go.
Final element of food sovereignty is we have to reclaim food democracy. We cannot allow a system where a handful of corporations push bad food on us, destroying the planet, destroying our health. Food sovereignty means we must not only learn again, we must reclaim the power to decide what our food systems will look like. Globalized systems under the control of corporate monopolies have caused all the problems we see today: ecological problems, poverty in rural areas, destruction of farmers' livelihoods, and destruction of health. On the other hand, ecological systems can rejuvenate all of this. Food sovereignty then means we start playing a role in healing the planet. We start playing a role in healing ourselves. We start playing a role of co-creation with the Earth's creation. That is true farming. That is the food system. As a scientist, what you're looking for is how the world works. And that inquiry of the mind is through scientific inquiry. When I was working in Bangalore, first in the Institute of Science, then into Indian Institute of Management in their Science and Technology Policy Division, I found suddenly that all around Bangalore,
Hey, Denzel.
eucalyptus plantations were coming up. And I found it strange because eucalyptus does not belong to our country. And I wanted to know how eucalyptus is being planted and our farmlands are being destroyed. The farmers started coming to us to tell us how the roots of the eucalyptus were destroying their food crops. So we did a study, the ecological audit of eucalyptus cultivation. In the study, we then found that this project of growing only eucalyptus on farms was funded by the World Bank in the name of social forestry. The forests had been destroyed by the pulp industry. Now the pulp industry wanted to grow their pulp, raw material, on the farms, creating hunger, creating unemployment. The study had huge impact. Farmers' movements grew out of it. A new thinking about how to do forestry, not monocultures, but with diversity grew. The Planning Commission called me. But in the institute, pressure was put because this study showed how World Bank actually works. And that's when I said to the director of our institute, you don't have to apologize to the World Bank. It is time for me to become an independent researcher, to do the real science that is independent of power, independent of money. And I came back to my hometown, Dehradun, from where we are speaking. I decided that I would learn from everyone and work with them to do the true science, the science of participation with nature, with ecosystems, with plant biodiversity, and participation with local communities who have the knowledge of their rivers, of their mountains, of their seeds, and of their soil. And the Research Foundation is where the Navdanya movement for seed saving grew.
Good stuff, huh, y'all? Good stuff. Learned a lot. So I think we're gonna put a pin in it from there. Basically, to sum up the night, I would say to you all, save your seeds. Learn how to grow without chemicals. Leave them GMO stuff alone. And treat your gardening or farming or whatever you're doing, treat it as a living being, a living thing, because it is a living thing. And what you are doing when you are farming or you are gardening is actually you're putting back and you're taking from the earth. The earth is given to you and you're putting back into it by caring for it and composting in place, watering your soil and making sure your soil is not dry, making sure you're having cover crops and things like that. By us being good stewards, we can help turn this thing around and it won't be so bad on all of us. Continue to spread the message to those who are not gardening. And even if they don't want to listen and don't want to start a garden, just encourage them to support someone that is close to them that's gardening. And then maybe they can barter and help that person to be more, to grow more crops and create a bigger or larger microclimate where they are. That is the main goal of what we're trying to do, to reverse all of the things that have been done from the effects of industrial farming. Industrial farming is simply just bucking against nature. It's farming against nature, and that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to farm within the guidelines of nature. And when we do that, we're working with nature, and nature in turn rewards us and protects us and gives us what we need. If we follow the rules and work with nature, then we wouldn't have all these ups and downs with the climates and everything, global warming and all of that. We got to start doing it. We got to start doing it, and we got to start doing it right. All right. So I thank y'all for being here. TZ says, I will start adding some iron to my soil. So many of us have iron deficiency. It starts with the soil. It definitely does. It definitely does. And most of that deficiency is because most of us are going to the store purchasing things that we think have iron in it. And those things in the store does not have the iron that we need. We we have the iron right here that we're growing. If you're treating your soil right in your garden, then those things that you're growing is going to have the iron in it that it needs. So your body won't be deficient. But just like the honey that we buy in the store, it says honey, but how much percentage of that is actual honey? Not a lot of it, if any. Welcome in, LP. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And Zeta Rose, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Oh, no problem, pretty girl. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for coming in and sharing with the information. We'll continue this conversation. Um, Sometime next week we'll come back and we did 5 and 6 tonight. So we're at 7. I think it's 10 episodes. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday before I go live again, because I go back to work tomorrow night and I do a 16-hour shift. If I get a break at work tomorrow night, I may go live, but I don't know if I'll do a Sugar Shack or if I'm going to do teaching. I think I'm going to take a break on teaching and do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to make any promises. But thank y'all for being here tonight. I appreciate y'all for what y'all did tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And happy Friday Eve. Happy Friday to you, Cena, because you don't have to work tomorrow. Not Cena, pretty girl, happy Friday to you because you don't have to work. Cena, happy Friday to you too, because you off too. But I will see y'all in these social media streets. Peace, love, and blessings, everyone. Continue growing. And I will see y'all later. Good night, everybody. Let me see if I can end this live. Oh, there's the button. Good night, y'all.